Hello, hello.
Nelson Lee,
How you doing, Jeffrey?
I am doing good. Thank you so much for talking to me, man. I am so excited to talk to you about all the stuff you're doing, man. You're a busy actor,
Good.
especially in a
Yeah,
quarantine.
yeah. I guess I was just lucky enough to do it before this all happened.
Well, Cole, are you hanging out in Los Angeles? I'm in Vegas.
Oh, yeah. I'm in LA. You're Vegas? How's it over there?
Well, it was good for about a month, and I think we're shutting
Yeah,
down again, so
yeah. There's no way around it.
yeah,
I
especially
thought we.
in LA
Yeah.
too, man. I'm dying to
Oh
get
yeah.
out of here, and you're all closed too. And so
Yeah.
one day at a time. That's my philosophy, one day at a
Yeah. If we did that, we wouldn't be going back into lockdown.
Well, thanks so much for talking to me, Nelson. Let's talk about Mulan. You play the Chancellor.
Yeah.
Tell me how you got that part, and tell me what the role is.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic role, Chancellor. From the original, obviously he was. It's a slightly different kind of version, our retelling of it. But he's the right hand man to the emperor. He's the man in his ear. He's the one giving him all his advice. He's just like really loves his emperor, and yeah, it's a fantastic role. And it was like really crazy long road to get to it. I auditioned for it like a couple of times for kind of different roles, that one and another role. And you went in, a few months passed, went back, and then it was almost a year after not hearing anything. So I was like, and as an actor, you get used to that. You're like, well, okay, that one's gone. And I was doing a show in Pittsburgh, and I finished, and I looked at my phone, and it like all these messages saying like, call me from my team. And I called them, and then they're like, "Do you want to go to China and New Zealand?" I was like, "For what?" And they said, "For Mulan." And I just started screaming. It's like, "What? Oh my god!" And it was an amazing thing. It's thrilling to be a part of something, especially now after doing it. So beautiful and epic. And I can't wait finally for. I'm not sure when, but when people can finally see it.
And as for an actor, especially with your with Asian heritage, I mean, is
Yeah.
it important? There's so many Asian actors having their due finally in Hollywood with this movie. Is it important to respect and represent the culture correctly?
I think absolutely, and I think this is, obviously it's way too early to celebrate, but I think this movie, and just like movies before it, like Parasite making a completely historical win at the Oscars, movies like Crazy Rich Asians, movies like The Farewell, movies that have Asians in them as leads, stories told. More and more we're seeing this, and something like Mulan is even more epic, and it's almost entirely made up of a cast of Asian actors. And this is a story from 500 AD China. So and the thing is, it's still relevant, and it's still relatable, because at the heart of it, it's about family. Yes, it's about Asian culture, but at the heart of it is about a young girl trying to, protect her family and her father, and in the process finds out who she is. So yeah, it's very important, and I think we do a beautiful retelling of it. And I can't wait for everyone to see it.
And tell me about your first day on the set, because this movie is such epic filmmaking. And I assume as an actor, when you get your costume on, when you're
Oh,
surrounded by all the soldiers and everything, that you're just transported into that role instantly.
yeah, I know a lot of actors say this, but it's almost true. When you go on a set that large, epic, beautiful, you put on these amazing, intricate costumes, you don't have to do much. You kind of just stand there in awe, really. I remember my first day really was, there was this beautiful palace that they built. I mean, everything was practical mostly. That's why it's so epic. They built these entire towns and palaces. So I'm in this huge throne room, and it's brand new. No one has shot in it yet. And it's just a scene of me just walking, and it's so beautiful. And it's hard not to just kind of keep pinching yourself, going like, I am in Mulan. I'm about to shoot this thing. In Mulan, it's a real blessing. And it was crazy trying to not smile and be giddy as we're shooting those scenes. But yeah, it's so epic.
And you're lucky as an actor because you had the world premiere back in March. An audience saw your film and you walked the red
Yeah.
carpet too. So tell
I
me about
did,
that.
yeah. I mean, that was amazing, and that was literally right before the world shut down. And they were even talking about shutting that down. I'm glad they didn't, in retrospect, because we did completely shut down afterwards. But yeah, it was special. I'm glad that we at least had that moment. to be at the Kodak Theater, to be on that stage, just looking out on this packed house, and to really gauge, this movie that we all loved. Obviously, we're a little biased, but to hear the response and everyone kind of crying when everyone else cried. I mean, I still cry when I watch that film, but it was so powerful, and the carpet was amazing, and and that was right in the beginning when everyone's doing elbow touches. But I can't lie. That night we were all hugging each other, we were all kissing each other. It was, I mean, talk about a super spreader event. But luckily, we all came out unscathed. But yeah,
now, I know Mulan should be experienced on the big screen. I'm a big advocate of that. But we had Tom Hanks as Greyhound just came, on demand.
Yeah.
So would you be too disappointed if Disney decided, because they've already pushed this movie a few times? Would you be too disappointed if it was shown at home?
I mean, I can't lie. I think this film was made to be watched in a theater. I think the scope and the epic quality of it will get lost. Some of it will diminish when you come to a smaller screen. That being said, we are living in unusual times. And, the most important thing is that people get to see it. So if it comes to that, obviously I'm not the one in charge of, counting money or numbers. So, it's at the end of the day, I want people to see it because I think it's beautiful. And I think that's the most important thing. And that we stay safe. So if that means that we have to do it on streaming, so be it.
I know how much this means to you. To me, too. One generation's ultimate sacrifice will protect the next.
Now, wait a minute. Check this out. Because now we're going to look at that. We're switching gears.
Pretty much the same costume. Right?
Well, you play the Dragon King. Is it fun playing the villain?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, look at that costume. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's also ridiculously hot. But no, it's so much fun playing. I mean, another kind of role where you put it on and it's insane. Like you just feel this thing, this power. But he's been so much fun. The show has been amazing to be a part of. It's kind of personal to me as well because it's Jeff Johns, creator. It's a friend of mine. We worked together way back when we did Blade in 2006, and this is so special to him because of his sister, and that because of that special to me and everyone else that's on it. But it's been a ton of fun, and I mean, look at him.
It's cool.
I get to put that hood on. I mean, how many have you seen? A lot of them, or have you seen?
I've seen a few, and but for an actor, it's kind of like V for Vendetta. You're covering yourself
Absolutely,
up.
Yeah.
It's like you could be anyone underneath there, right? So how does Nelson Lee get out from behind that mask?
Yeah, I mean, that's the hard thing, right? When you're doing a role where you have no facial expressions, and also you're kind of hindered by this costume. And so I think step one was finding the voice for him. And that was a crazy and they gave me free reign. And so there were some funny first things. But once we found it, that's what really locked it all in. And then you kind of find the way you move and you just find different ways, head tilts and everything else to convey emotion without anything else.
Well, he's a member of the Injustice Society. How do I become a member? How do you become a member of it?
You just have to have evil plans. That's all. It's actually not that hard to join. I'll give you a guidebook.
And what has the fan reaction been? Because comic book fans go crazy. So what kind of response have you had from fans playing the Dragon King?
I mean, they've been amazing. I mean, the fans, I've always thought that's, anything in the comic genre, the fans are just amazing. I mean, having been to Comic-Con before, they're just so loyal. And this is what the show is made for them. And they've been awesome. They just really love the costume. They really loved everything we've been doing, the tone of it, his relation with his daughter. That's been really fun revealing the last couple episodes. And yeah, they've been really excited and happy. And I think they're going to really like what's coming up next.
Well, I've been to Comic-Con, for many years, and I'm so disappointed we didn't have anything this year. Are you doing anything with the Comic-Con at home? Are you doing any panels or that for the fans, or?
Not yet. We're doing a lot of, kind of interviews like this, which has been great. And then doing a lot of kind of Instagram stuff live for the fans. But we'll see. It's it's an odd time. And whatever we can do for the fans, we try to do.
And, I have been a huge fan of James Hong my entire life.
Yeah.
And I'm president of the Las Vegas Film Critic Society, and we gave him a Lifetime Achievement Award a few years ago. And he's always been an advocate for Asian actors. So I'm wondering I don't know if you know him or not, but just this seems like a renaissance going on right now for Asian actors.
Yeah, I mean, and talk about, James Hong, the original in Mulan that my character is slightly based off of, but I can't even touch that man. He's a legend. And talk about a man that was coming up for Asian Americans when there was nothing. There was a very rarefied air because there's no one that's been doing something. There's other, actors like Tai Ma as well, who've been in forever. But it's a beautiful thing to finally see people who look like me having roles written for them by people that look like me and produced by people that look like me. I think that's kind of how you start doing. Not that it has to be that, but I think that's where you start making everyone understand that, oh, this is fine, that we can have people of color, especially people of Asian descent, stories told about them where it doesn't have to be packaged in a way that's like, palatable for everyone. That's the way it's always been. It's like, oh, we can have one Asian because this is the way he talks, and but the rest we can't. It's an amazing thing to finally go, oh no, we can have an entire show or entire movie with that. Or we can have a lead that just happens to be Asian. It doesn't have to be explained why. You don't have to be, this is Tommy, who I met in Japan. It just has to be like, this is Tommy, because that's the world, this is the country we live in, this is the world we live in. And it's about time that we started showing that.
And I've been a lifelong asthmatic, and people take breathing for granted. And you're an advocate for lung cancer awareness. And I have just so much respect for that, because I've been an advocate just for any kind of American Lung Association my entire life. Yeah,
absolutely. It's an important thing, and it's, it's personal to me. I have someone in my family that's, and it's always a shock, and it's unfortunate. Sometimes it takes that to motivate you, but it's, what the Cancer Society of America does, what Cancer Society of Canada has been doing as well. I'm Canadian. Primarily another one that, Sunnybrook Institution Foundation in Canada, they also do amazing work for lung cancer. It's a crazy, terrible thing that's in the world. And, when it affects someone that's close to you, it becomes even more personal.
Well, Nelson, you are just so busy. Thanks for taking a few moments out to talk to me about all these projects, about Mulan and Stargirl. And when you have a chance, man, come visit us in Las Vegas. We'd love to have
I would love to. I love Vegas. So once everything opens back up, I'll be there. I'll wear that hood to be safe.
Oh, that would be cool. You get to take that home, or is it
no? Well, I'll steal it.
You'll steal it? Steal it. You come to Vegas, we'll ride down the strip with it, and we'll see.
It'll be perfect.
Exactly. We'll recognize you. Hey, that's Nelson Lee. Wait a minute. All right, man. Good luck with everything. And
thanks so much. Thanks. Stay safe.